we've been going for a while, but we'll add this on anyway. Is there any names anyone can think of that maybe wasn't
I
in this
have
top 10?
I have a couple honorable mentions.
We can quickly go through
I think Hook
Ooh,
clearing stage one of
them.
Smokies, and
Yeah.
even Go Tanks getting the back-to-back stage fours.
ooh, interesting.
But I think the
Yeah.
one that really is missing is probably Campy.
I was going to say, well, when you said Hook, I was about to say Campy. Like,
Well, I feel
if
like
Hook
it
was
was
a
more
yeah.
expected with Hook, but I mean, Hunter, me and you helped Campy practice with Smokey, right?
Oh, it was funny times.
I
That was such
don't
fun
think I
times.
was expecting him to clear. I
No.
mean, I can't tell you how happy I was to watch that man clear. That was freaking so fun.
Yeah.
Irish, any honourable mentions or any that you think maybe could have been on this list?
I know this show tends to be pretty big three basis wise. That said, there haven't been a ton of big three tournaments out released on Halo Infinite. I mean, yours hasn't happened yet, and there's only one full Smoky out, and three ROG tournaments. So I guess to look at some of the other success stories that we've
Yeah, why
seen
don't we each pick
on
one
Infinite,
guy from a different
um,
course?
just
I like that
looking
idea.
at like debuts. MMO and Eternal debuted on Chumpy's Tournament 16, and they both got like midway through Stage 3. Like, that was a tough tournament. Only 10 people beat Stage 1. 5 people got to Stage 3, and at that point, we really had no expectation of Free and Eternal Flame being top jumpers, and they both got to Stage 3. So at that point, that was like oh man, like that was kind of a like, hey, the new generation is coming kind of situation.
Yeah, I even remember
Um,
that. Yeah.
and then if you really go further down the board, just to shout out one of mine, the most recent, like, wow, how did this happen tournament for me would be Free in Tournament 24. So he
Was
debuted
that
on
when
my
he got
course.
to? Was that when he got his first stage one club?
Yeah, so he debuted in
Yeah.
21. He did okay in 21. He failed fifth obstacle. He failed the triple hurdle in 22, 23. In 24, I mean, he had done reasonably well on some other courses, but not like great. I would say, like, he was showing signs of being a decent jumper. And then he torches stage 1. That was crazy. He demolishes stage 2 speed record, and I go, whoa! Like, those are like, that's the best run through the first 2 stages I've seen. And then for him to get all the way to the last obstacle, stage 3, put a first place up, and then the runs that have followed it have also been really spectacular. Like, that was the run where that was kind of the breakout run, where I think for a lot of people that kind of made people realize how good Free actually is.
Put
I guess.
MMO on the map.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about to say,
I-
why don't we really? I hate saying the big three, but since we did that, let's all just pick one run outside the big three that you think would be on this list.
Oof. Well, I mean,
Mine's
to be honest,
mine. I
almost,
think's pretty easy.
You
I'll
go
go
first.
first. Tricky's total victory on Flames.
Mm.
yeah,
I just
that's-
remember. I mean,
we said
correct me
it.
if I'm wrong, but
Irish said, didn't they, that was very out of nowhere.
I just
I don't-
well, what I guess I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, but back then, like I said earlier, Flames courses were so freaking hard.
Yeah.
So to get total victory, let alone do good, was wow.
And I feel like typically.
If I,
Sorry.
Did you know he was the
quickly-
first UK to get?
Oh, no.
God. I'm cutting that out.
Cut it out.
And this is all getting cut now. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I will. Maybe I don't know if I'll keep all of. I don't know if I'll keep this bit in. Maybe I'll cut this bit out and turn it into an extra.
But yeah,
bonus,
shout out to
separate
Free.
video.
Shout out
You-
to Free having one of the greatest starts to a jumping career you can have.
No, yeah, my pick, honestly, would be Free on Irish's 24 to such an extent that when I resent this list to Irish a couple of weeks ago when we were getting ready to do this, I almost considered turning this into a top 11 just
Oh, wow.
so I could include Free's Tournament 24 run on Irish's course.
Almost made it into the big three. Shucks. Tough break.
I suppose it's comparable to Tricky's run that is on
Yeah.
this list.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
yeah, it was just phenomenal.
I guess
Um,
I'll shout out one more just to be different from Hunter. When you look at his history, you go, this shouldn't be a surprise, but it was. at the time, like, it was one of those runs where I went, holy cow, how did this happen?
Was it weapon, Matt?
No, I'm going to go Fireball in my tournament 15. So for context, he goes out, flying start, final stage in tournament 3, should have gotten to the final in tournament 5, and he fails at the end of stage 3, and then does okay in 6 and 7, finishes last place on stage 2 in tournament 8, still stage 1 clear, and then he fails stage 1 in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He then misses tournament 14, and he comes out in tournament 15, pretty tough tournament, beats stage 1, beats stage 2. At that point, the cliffhanger was undefeated. This is the 4th tournament of the era. Nobody had beaten the cliffhanger, and I'm pretty sure Fireball was... It was either you or Fireball were the last person to go on stage 3, but at that point, the tournament was going to end on the cliffhanger, and I was like, man, how does this cliffhanger keep, ending tournaments? I know it's hard. I didn't think it was this hard. And then sure enough, Fireball goes out and is the one to figure it out. Obviously, he failed the castle wall right after it, but it was like that run where I saw him get the spring on the second corner and make it, I was like, I can't believe he just did that. Like, to think about how badly he had done on my course before that. And then really that was the run that has sparked his run of terror. Like, he's had one stage 1 fail and one stage 2 fail since then. It's pretty incredible when you really sit down and
the
look
dude
at Fireball
doesn't practice.
He doesn't practice.
Which is insane.
So to be different,
I both love and hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but I have such happiness and then such god damn it at the exact same time, because I was there for all of that. Fireball's comeback run in that tournament. I just wasn't doing anything and just watched the whole tournament, like in the lobby, on the sidelines with him. I'm pretty sure. I think I was.
I remember you were like.
I was definitely there. I was
definitely
there. I was definitely there for stage 3. I was trying to remember if I was there for 1 and 2
for the whole thing.
But yeah, unbelievable, and I couldn't believe, because I knew obviously the fact how much he'd struggled up to that point. So it was wonderful from that point of view as a spectator, but as a competitor, god damn it, did he steal my thunder? What a fucking amazing! Finally getting back to stage 3 for me.
How about
14 tournaments I've waited to get back to stage 3, and then I get back there. I actually put up a pretty good run. I wasn't even the worst attempt on the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And then this prick comes out of nowhere and steals my thunder.
He did.
I know something about getting your thunder stolen.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to tie it all together.
Well, I'll just also give my quick honourable mentions that were on... When I put together this, I think there's got to be somewhere between 20 and 25 names that I just wrote down before eventually whittling it down to 10.
That's another comment you can make. If you got any others that we're going to miss, put it in the comments.
I'm not going to say all of them, but just the 3 that I will say. The first one I have to say, Z. You're never going to see this, but Z, you were on this list originally. You probably would have been number 10, but you were on this list originally and then got bumped out for Sunny.
In full transparency, though, you had the idea for this top 10, like, what, a year ago? Year and a half ago?
Almost 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, yeah. So, yeah, Z, you getting to stage 3 in tournament 14 was great, but it didn't end up making the cut. Matt getting to the final stage in Halo Ninja Warrior 16, I would shout out as a contender possibly.
Yep.
And you know what, I'm going to say it, this one would have never made the list, but I'm going to say it because he's here. One of the suggestions I did write down was Irish's tournament 24 run on Halo Ninja Warrior.
Oh, interesting.
I got one more honorable mention you might agree with, boys.
Let's see if it's on this list. Go for it.
Flame, stage 4 of ROG.
Let's have a look. Did I put Flame down?
I wouldn't consider that list one just because at that point he was almost made the final, so it felt like
he was an all-star.
He was slowly making forward progress.
Yeah. No, he's not on this list. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to turn this into a separate video. So I'm giving myself another thing to edit, guys. But hey, you've seen it now, and this is the end of that this is the end of that bonus video.
Oh, interesting. I guess, well, if it is a bonus video, I'll provide context for the bonus video. No, I, like, looking back at my 24...
Okay, your time's up.
No, I mean, it's kind of weird when I look at it, because, like, the 22 through 24 saga, because 20 and 21 went so badly for me, and I was really bummed out. I'm like, man, maybe this course just isn't really made for me. And then 22 happens, and I was doing reasonably well in practice, and then, you know, clear it in the run. It was a tough tournament. I clear it, you know, 8th place. And then 23 comes around, and I hate this word, but I wasn't. And this was the biggest time I was a victim of it. I was so overconfident on that stage 1. It was not even funny. Like, I completely over-practiced and completely psyched myself out for the run, and just made 2 bonehead mistakes on the 2 attempts, and that was that. And I genuinely, like, I know I always talk about how I, like, slammed a controller against my chair and broke it after one of Chumpy's tournaments. That was genuinely the most pissed I've ever been after a run. I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but it is the bonus channel, so I don't care. You fucking blew the biggest chance you're ever going to get at getting to a stage 3. And at that point, I felt like, you know, the window had closed. Like, I was so distraught. Like it honestly pains me to go back and watch that tournament, because it felt like such a course that I could get to stage 3 on, and I just completely squandered it. Didn't even beat stage 1. So then, coming out 24, I thought, okay, this is a doable course, but I definitely didn't feel nearly as confident in the stage 2 as I felt in the one prior. So I think that, well, the time limit was a little tough. You know, we had the rolling log and some other stuff that, you know, were a little bit time consuming. And yeah, it just, you know, came together. The stage 1 was, you know, a little scary, got through, and that was a big relief. And then the stage 2, it just felt like we were kind of playing with house money. I clear, and then I'm running stage 3 at about 3 in the morning, and it was like, cool. Hey, I made a stage 3.
Much like
awesome.
real life Sasuke. Once upon a time.
I remember, like, I think I was watching. So it was there's a football game going on. Ohio State was playing, like, in the evening. Like, had to be a 3:30 or 7 o'clock game that it was going on, and I remember I cleared, and then immediately Ohio State scored a touchdown. I was like celebrating the touchdown more than me clearing the stage. But then I remember practicing stage 2 for multiple hours. I think I ran stage 2 at like 1, 2 in the morning, and then ran stage 3 at 3 in the morning, and went to bed. And I just remember my interview as well. I was trying to be super quiet, but also get my point across, just because it was late, and I didn't want to wake up my whole house at 3 in the morning. That would have been a tough scene, but.
Yeah.
All right, that's your bonus video.
It's at this point we now go. It's at this point. Okay, I'm doing a bad job at clicking my fingers here. Back to the main video.